YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Rob, aka DJ Ville, back with another video. Thank you for checking out the channel. As usual, this is SOS Fragrance Reviews, and today we're going to be touching on the note of oud. Now, let me preface by saying I am not an expert on oud whatsoever. I've never smelled real oud. I've never had real oud in a vial or, a real oud sample, and I can say oud smells like this. It's got these facets. The only thing I know is what I've gotten via designer and indie releases. That's my only reference. I don't really have this deep knowledge and appreciation of oud, or we had oud like just wafting through the house as a kid coming up. That's not a part of my culture. I'm not familiar with oud like that, but I am interested. So I've started picking up oud fragrances with oud in it. Now, I recognize these are Western fragrances, and they're not going to have the type of oomph that, fragrances from the Middle East are going to have. But nevertheless, I've got some oud fragrances in my collection that I want to present to you guys. So stay tuned. All right, so first fragrance I've got is from the house of Versace, and this is Versace Oud. This one is a 2013 release, if I'm not mistaken. This is a very smooth fragrance. I know ouds have the reputation of being very big, very bold, animalic, fecal, sometimes medicinal. All these different things that I always hear all the time from people talking about oud fragrances. This one is slightly smoky, kind of animalic when you first spray it, but that goes away pretty quickly. It's got like, when you get to like the mid to like the dry down, it's got this actual like kind of clean freshness, very smoothed out. It's a very likable fragrance. I can't see anybody, even if you don't like oud at all, saying they dislike this fragrance. So. And I want to say the price point is about like 55 bucks. So it's an affordable fragrance also. So from the house of Versace, this is Versace Oud. And the notes I've got written down, primarily the notes are oud, saffron, pepper, cardamom, olibanum. So there you have it, Versace Oud. Second is from the house of Elie Saab. And this is Essence Oud. And this is number 4. Listen, if you're not familiar with the Essence line, you need to get familiar with it. It's a really nice line of fragrances under the Essence line, and they all have their own individual number. Every one that I've smelled is really, really nice. But this fragrance in particular, very, very smooth. This is a unisex fragrance. It's not animalic at all. Very woody, almost oily, if you will. Something about this fragrance reminds me of a fragrance from Ermengeldo Zegna. It's called Peruvian Ambrette. It smells like it's got that ambrette seed in it. So really nice fragrance. It smells very classy, performs very well. Price point, I want to say this one was about 68 bucks, somewhere in that ballpark. Really nice pickup. I can't say that it smells like oud. It's got the woody facets to it, but to say that it smells just like oud, I can't do that. But it's a really nice fragrance, and I'm really happy I got this in the collection. So, and I've got the notes for this one written down also. Big ones, oud, black pepper, benzoin. So again, Essence number 4, oud from Elie Saab. All right, I've got one from an indie house that is challenging. Okay, this is from the house of Artisan Parfumeur. This is the Dzing. Okay, this is a very animalic fragrance, and it's very animalic for like the first hour. The concept behind this fragrance was like the circus. I don't know if you've ever been to the circus. I went to the circus once when I was a kid, maybe like about, I want to say for my 10th birthday or my 11th birthday. I went to Barnum and Bailey's Ringling Brother Barnum and Bailey Circus, in the suburbs of Chicago when I was a shorty. And You smell poop, you smell hay, you smell cotton candy, you smell popcorn, you know, hot dogs, all of those different smells just like wrapped into, you know, one, like just wafting all around. And I know it sounds crazy and it sounds like it may not work, but this actually does work if you can get beyond the first hour. So again, this is an indie fragrance, but I think it's a quality fragrance. And as I just described, you do get like a fecal type barnyardy smell. You get like a sweetness which smells like almost like a cotton candy or I don't know, taffy or what. Then you get like the smell of like hay and popcorn, and you get all of these weird smells like swirling around in this fragrance. It's kind of got this weird balance. It walks this tightrope of like all of those things, but for some reason they actually work, believe it or not. And I've got the notes for this one written down. I've got white wood, musk, leather, caramel, apple. And this is a 1999 release. So if this is something that you find interesting, do your research, maybe see if you can get a sample. This is the older bottle. I think the new bottle has been changed in the styling, but from the house of Les Artisans Parfumeur, Dzing. This one was all the rage, I want to say like 2017, from the house of Gucci Intense Oud. This is a recent pickup for me. I've been trying to get a bottle of this, and it seemed like every time I took a swing, I missed. I finally caught it this year on sale for about 99 bucks. This is I think it's a really nice designer oud fragrance. It's kind of got a boozy quality to it when you first spray it. Slight incensey feel. Of course, it's got the woods, kind of powdery, but really, really well done. Now, I am a nosmic to this fragrance. It doesn't happen to me that often, but I had to actually do a lot of testing to be able to really make out like this fragrance as it progressed beyond just like the initial blast for some reason. And that doesn't happen to me too often, but for some reason with this fragrance, I had to constantly keep going to coffee, grounds, smell that, go back, and then try to repick this fragrance up, because I would smell it when I first sprayed it, and then I couldn't smell it anymore. My wife would be like, wow, what do you have on that's so strong? And I'm like, Gucci Intense Oud, I can't smell it anymore. And she would just be looking at me crazy like, what, you can't smell that? That's like so strong. So I personally can't speak on like, you know, how beast mode or anything like that, because after a little bit, I can't smell this fragrance anymore. But, you know, outside of the characteristics of the fragrance, the notes that I've got here are incense, leather, amber, oud, olibanum, Gucci Intense Oud. From the house of Valentino, from the Noir Absolu line, Oud Essence. This fragrance, when you first smell it, has a beautiful opening, but it only lasts for like 2 to 3 minutes. And then it dives deep into animalic territory, and it's fecal smelling, straight up, wet farts. Said it in my prior video. But if you can ride the wave and get through that, it smooths out. It's got like leather qualities to it. That berry, suede accord comes back in. Woodiness comes out in the fragrance. It's really, in the end, a beautiful fragrance. It's just that I don't know if this is truly in line with like Middle Eastern ouds, but it's got that part to it. It's got those characteristics, and I know that's not something that everybody's into, but I think it's a beautiful fragrance nonetheless, with that caveat. Price point, I think I picked it up from a discount retailer from somewhere between like 55 to like 70 bucks, somewhere in that range is what I paid for it. But I think it's a quality fragrance. Do your research. If this is something that you might be interested in. I don't know if you can get a sample, but it's worth trying. Again, Oud Essence from the Noir Absolu line from Valentino. Oh, and the notes for that fragrance are oud, leather, cedar, saffron, sandalwood, myrtle, and it was a 2018 release. Last but not least, from the house of Dunhill, this is Dunhill Icon Absolu. Really, really beautiful bottle. I just really love the Icon bottle stylings. I've had this one actually a couple years, but I've only given it a few wearings. When I first got this fragrance, I couldn't get over the fact of how much it reminded me of a basement, of a damp basement. It's almost like got this damp patchouli feel, but something about the scent memory of the dampness in this fragrance reminded me too much of a Midwest basement, like the negative aspect of it. Not saying it's a bad fragrance, but there was something that I couldn't get past. And I've just recently started to get past that certain dampness in this fragrance that was kind of throwing me off. And I'm able to move forward and really start to give this one some wearing. Kind of got a spiciness from saffron. Of course, it's got the woodiness to it. It's got a warmth to it. Once it really dries down, it smooths out quite a bit. It's a quality release from the house of Dunhill. I don't like it as much as the original Icon, but it's definitely a solid flanker and one, you know, that I can add to the list of oud-based fragrances that I have in my collection. So the actual listed notes or most prominent notes for this fragrance are leather, pepper, and saffron. So, and this was I believe this was a 2016 release or 2015 release. I can't remember for certain. I didn't write that down. But anyway, from the house of Dunhill, Dunhill Absolu, or Dunhill Icon Absolu. So there you have it, guys. Those are my oud fragrances. I hope you found this enjoyable. Feel free to comment in the comment section and let me know if you've got any of these or if you can recommend a oud fragrance that I may want to check out. I'm open. I just don't want it to be too fecal to where it's almost like that for the whole life of the fragrance. But you know, I'm in my experimentation mode right now with a lot of fragrances, so shoot it to me. As always, I thank you guys for coming and check out the video. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Hey, I hope everyone is doing well. Take care. Peace.